Alright folks, welcome back to Red Dwarf Rewatch presented by the Not Funny Guys. I am your host, Dr. John, and we have made it, folks. We have made it to the end of Series 5. We'll be pushing on to Series 6. So we started with Hollow Ship and we end up here with the end of Series 5, Episode 6, Back to Reality. This is directed by Juliet May and Grant Naylor. She's still hanging around. Written by Rob Grant and Doug Naylor, art creators. And it was released on the 26th of March, 1992. So let's talk about a summary. The crew take the Starbug down to the watery depths of an ocean planet to investigate the wreck of the SSS Esperanto. They find the ship's crew have all committed suicide and try to escape to avoid attack of a sea monster they refer to as the Despair Squid or the Suicide Squid or whatever name they get. The crew is supposedly killed and wake up to find out that their whole lives have been nothing but a video game and that Starbug and Red Dwarf don't exist and they have basically been playing a total immersion game this whole time. Fun little bit there. But think about that thing, Despair. Let's break this down. Open on an underwater station, a Starbug landing nearby. The crew retrieves the black box from the SSS Esperanto. Apparently the ship was there trying out spawning of enhancements on life and sea creatures, which apparently was a massive success. But the question becomes, where is all the sea life now? It's empty. Where is it? And this is Lake Lister then immediately assumes that there's some massive sea monster out there that's been feeding on all of them. Turns out he's right. And if this was what he read is an implication of what Crichton had said about it. That's when they start finding the dead crew members. One shot himself, one hanged himself, one apparently, I'm assuming Asian, one committed suicide, all suicides, even the fish, the haddock, killed itself. And the cat puts it together that there must be some kind of link. He really is the last to get it. How sweet. They then find the venom of hallucinogenic properties. Crichton tells them that they need to run. And he basically has induced that this is some sort of despair monster. And that's what happens from the goo that he scanned. They all start experiencing the effects of this in the airlock. They get their way back to Starbug. Only to find out the Suicide Squid, Despair Squid, is coming for them. By the time they actually make it back, Rimmer and Holly let them know they have about 1,000 fathoms and it's diving on them. And then they're trying to figure out what to do. It either wants to, kill them, eat them, hump them. And they're monitoring it like it's some sort of submarine warfare. Lister makes the thing to, let's run. Gets the manual, they're being pursued, it catches up to them, they're attacked, they crash, the ship is destroyed. And they get the screen, game over. And they wake up in a machine. Apparently number 16 or number 6, I don't remember. And they've been immersed in this game, this total immersion game, for 4 years, called Red Dwarf. And they're back in this gaming chamber and they get this message, welcome back to reality. And they all look very different and have no memory of their real selves. And of course, noticeably immediately, Cat has a massive set of overbite teeth. Now, they're waiting there when the attendant comes in. There's this attendant's played by Timothy Small, great actor. Lots of stuff. Sweeney Todd, the like. And it talks about how there's like a massive wait lines of this is a very popular game. He then mocks them when he finds out how they died for the Despair Squid and like totally trashes them for somehow not knowing the game, that the Esperanto was a clue. It means hope. Hope beats despair. He then goes on to basically ask which one of them played Lister. And apparently his whole objective is to get with Kachansky, and they missed that. And apparently they also missed the planet of the Nymphomaniacs. Apparently Rimmer also failed at his part of the game. He was supposed to find some sort of secret clue in the captain's message and the truth behind Rimmer's insufferable attitudes. That apparently he's a secret Space Corps operative designed to help guide Lister to his destiny, which apparently is to restart the universe in the second Big Bang, where Lister will literally be God. They then get pushed out to the recuperation lounge as a new group comes in, and apparently they only scored a 4%. So not even well. They're all trying to figure out who they really are. Rimmer is kind of generally happy not to be a hologram. Lister, of course, asks that very crony question, who are we? And then the nurse comes in, they're leaving the Dwayne Dibley party. It's the cat. It's his party, massive overbite, bowl cut. They get their things, and of course they get the idea. He is so terribly dressed. He is the polar opposite of the cat. And apparently there's this whole thing. Mr. Rimmer starts speculating about why everybody did these games where they're running away from something and they all want to be somebody different. And this is like the opposite of who they are. Crichton then is told by Rimmer to open the next case, and he gets all stuffy about it, especially when he finds out that he is Jake Bullitt, the cybernetic division detective. Crichton goes full overblown confidence, and Rimmer says that you might just be in charge of traffic patrol. He's really downing on everybody. Crichton opens up the next case, no photo, but they do find an ID. It's Billy Doyle. Rimmer starts speculating that this is like the guy from the wrong side of the tracks, making these long things, petty crime. It's Rimmer's case. He is Billy Doyle. In fact, the ID says William Doyle. He tries to reverse the story and to make it sound like he had a better life. Until Lister finds a basically coat inside that smells like urine. And of course, Lister is last. He finds a really nice suit, super expensive stuff. He works for CGI. Lister is basically lamenting his like sort of lost. This is just not who he is. It also turns out that he's half brothers with Rimmer. And in fact, he does not like this, but Rimmer really thinks this should be him. They decide to leave early. Now they're dressed in their new clothes. Lister peeks in at one of the simulators, and the other ones are playing the game, and it appears they're doing way better than they ever did. They get to the car park. They've basically lots of fascist posters everywhere. Fabulous prizes, apparently, for turning your family. And they get to his car. It's super nice. Then they encounter a government agent trying to execute a little girl, or shoot her at least, who's running away with something, and he's chasing her. He's going to execute them for interference. Apparently, he does confirm that Jake Bullitt is a traffic cop. Lister comes out of the shadows, and he gets identified as voter Colonel Sebastian Doyle, head of the Ministry of Alteration, which apparently is where you go from being alive to dead. He's a mass murderer. It's basically his worst nightmare. Apparently, the whole thing is he ran away from his job, and he gets all this information from this government thug. And then as he is about to shoot the girl again as she runs away, Crichton kills him. We finally cut back to reality, finally. They're still on Starbuck. We watching them start to act out. Holly's trying to reach them. They're acting out everything. So they get in the car. They're acting out the chase. We don't actually see it. We see this, which is a fun way of basically shortcutting a very expensive piece of budget. So they're acting out the chase. They act out dumping the car, running from pursuit, and ending up hiding in like an alleyway where Kay decides that he's broken a primary rule. Crichton has broken a primary rule by taking a life. It's like his worst nightmare. So he decides he has to kill himself. And then they all decide they'd rather die than keep on living in these. They only have one bullet, so the plan is for them to all put their heads together and shoot at one. Holly finally reaches through to Crichton. He goes and unscrews this thing, and gas, the lithium carbide, saves them. And she actually, this is how they save themselves from the despair squid. And Holly, of course, tells them, welcome back to reality. And then Crichton tries to make a really bad joke, and they leave the planet. So there we go. Now we have reached the end of Series 5. Next time it will be Series 6. That will be on Friday. So come back for more on that. Please like, subscribe, share, spread the word. I will be posting a video probably over on the TikTok, but I'll maybe make it a short here. An article I recently found praising Red Dwarf for being a groundbreaking television series, and I definitely want to highlight that. So keep an eye out for an extra video this week, maybe the weekend, a short where I will be talking about that because I would like to share that and pass that on to all the Red Dwarf fans out there. But in the meantime, please tell me more about what you want to see on this channel, how you'd like to see things. You can write me at our email in the description or in the ticker below, notfunnyguys.offthereels@gmail.com. Please write me and tell me things you want to see on this channel. Give me suggestions for the next television show we'll cover. I've got some ideas of my own, but I am open to some ideas and other things like that. Additionally, I'd like to plug, and you can reach me there for further details. I'll try to create something for the description, but I'm currently in the process of soon participating in Extra Life, which is just 24 hours of gaming, and I'm raising money to support the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. More can be found down the link. I would greatly appreciate anybody who wants to contribute and help, and there are incentives out there for that as well. So please write me for more details or check out the links below and where you can get those details online. In the meantime, check out our other Not Funny Guys material. We have our main podcast, Off the Reels, where we talk about movies, and we have just now completed the entire run of Star Wars. So episode 1, 2, 3, and we're going chronologically, so Solo, Rogue One, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we just released episode 9. You can hear our thoughts on that experience as we now move on to covering a small 3-episode run of Scorsese films. And I'm up first. We're doing Wolf of Wall Street, and we'll do 2 others before we move on to, I believe, Eric is picking next. If that is also not your cup of tea and you're more into, say, wrestling and horror films, it's about to be Halloween. Check out my colleagues, Casey and Eric, doing their podcast, Wrestling with the Horror of It All, where you can hear them talking about pro wrestling, mainly WWE, and horror movies, which they do regularly as a way of torturing Eric. And finally, we also have one more. We have the Not Funny Guys present Thinking About Thinking with myself, Dr. Kristen, talking about academics, AI, all kinds of stuff. I recently subjected her to Star Wars. Good Star Wars, though. Andor, which we've also covered previously on this channel, so you should go check that out as well. Otherwise, like I said, like, subscribe, share, come back, enjoy any of our other Not Funny Guys. But in the meantime, don't be a smeghead, keep it not funny, and I'll see you next time.